Animated Anarchy series presents the Animated Showdown.
All right, what's up, everybody? It is Wednesday afternoon. We're on your lunch break. Sean and Dave are actually sleeping. We're getting ready to wake them up. There you go. Wake up.
Sean, why are you snoring?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're snoring.
Here now.
They're just, mocking what one of my wrestling guys did on the show a week and a half ago. All right, so
Crazy.
This is Animated Showdown, episode 25. Of course, I am your host, Dutchy. This is part of the Animated Anarchy series. Joined as always by Money E.
What's up?
All right, Sean is here.
Hello.
And Wildcard Dave.
The one and only.
Yep. And today we got some interesting ones on the show today. We have Avatar: The Last Airbender takes on Adventure Time. We're gonna have Parasite the Maxim take on Dragon Ball Super. Goof Troop takes on the Angry Beavers. And Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, is going to take on the Spectacular New Adventures of Casper the Friendly Ghost. If Casper gets swept, they move into that bottom tier. And the main event is going to be Dexter's Laboratory versus Count Duckula. If Dexter's Laboratory sweeps, they move into the upper echelon. If Count Duckula gets swept, they move into that bottom tier. So 5 categories are going to be picked via the randomizer. These guys are going to judge. If a show wins 3-0, it's 30 points. 3-2 or 3-1 is 20 points. 3-2 is 10. 5 for the loser. If you get swept, you lose 10 points. So let's see if we have a better selection of categories than we had on Saturday's show. Can everybody see the screen?
Yep.
Yes, I can say.
All right. One click. And all right. A little better, I think. Because
I feel like we don't get a theme song a lot.
if we get it, it's usually towards the bottom.
Facts.
So I'm happy that it's number 2. So we get voice acting, theme song, fan base, Sean's ultimate fave, merch, and we get enjoyment. Sean, how do we feel?
It's not awful.
All right. Dave?
I like it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not a fan of having like fan base and merch back to back.
Yeah, that's always been an issue.
Yeah. I wish enjoyment was 4 and merch was 5.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I really got to nitpick.
All right. Eric?
I like it better than Saturdays. Even though my least favorite is the first.
I don't. I wish there was animation in this lineup.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, same.
Give me animation.
Let's just take out merch and add animation.
Can't do it. Randomizer. The randomizer god said no.
I'm almost thinking of starting in stage 3. I'm almost thinking of doing it where if there's a category that we don't like giving you guys the option
to vote one category out per thing.
and put one in.
I like that.
I love that.
I like that.
We're not going to start that till stage 3, but that's probably what I'm thinking of doing.
And we gotta get 2 out of 3 votes on a certain category we want, or do you pick the category?
No, what we'll do is that category will take. Well, so what we'll do is if there's a category you don't like, So one of you can take the category out.
Okay.
One of you can take the category out, but it has to be a majority vote. So yeah, 2 out of 3 will have to say, okay, well, 2 out of 3 will have to agree on a category.
Okay.
Which
like
won't
that.
be hard because, Dave, all you have to say is Eric. And
Eric.
hey, yes, so it'll be easy to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. Don't be
Huh?
sure. I can agree with Sean.
Wow, thanks, Eric.
So
Just because the camera's off doesn't mean I can't hear you.
he sounded so enthused about saying, I'll support Sean.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll do that. So that'll be like so we'll start that in stage 3 and we'll do it to where like we'll run the randomizer, and if somebody doesn't like a certain category, then they can take it out. Yeah. So I have a feeling Sean will exercise that right to take merch out every time.
But we could stop that if me and Eric agree to keep it.
Yeah, if you and Eric say one person can remove it, but if you two want to keep it in, you can be like, no, it's got to go back.
Okay, nice. I like the power that I just got granted.
Yeah. So
if Sean pissed me off that week, I can leave it in for him.
Yeah. I mean, you also
if I agree with you, Eric. I agree with
you, have to just keep in mind what the battles are. Yeah, and you have to think of
how to keep it fair.
Yeah, how to keep it fair. You can't just lopside it.
Right, to like make a show like that would have like better development or animation. Just to like lopside it.
Yeah.
And put that in there. And like
we can take out something that we think is lopsided and put in something that is fair.
So
exactly.
For an example, so if Tom and Jerry takes on something like Looney Tunes,
we could take out voice acting.
If voice acting is a category, if you feel like it's lopsided, then you can take it out. Or like
time, so.
What did you say?
I said I was only messing with Sean.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought you said, let me go put on my thong.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah. All right.
For Sean, I heard at the end.
Yeah.
I hope that's not sure.
Sean's just trying to do his best, man.
Yeah. Eric's starting a new website called Only Sean's, where only Sean can access the website.
Yeah.
He turned his camera off so he could flip off the screen without me seeing it.
No, I can't stop laughing.
Oh, that's hilarious.
All right. I think we've wasted enough time.
That was one of the funniest jokes you ever said, Doug.
Oh, well.
Only shots. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I can't stop laughing. I'm going to. I can't
Good
breathe.
look. All right. So now that I've gotten the mood lightened up and nobody can focus, now is the perfect time for everybody to judge. So we're going to start with our first battle, which is Avatar: The Last Airbender versus Adventure Time. Avatar: The Last Airbender in the division of Kaylee Fox, 1-0, 20 points. Taking on Adventure Time in the division of Tiffany Zell, 1-0, 20 points. So we start with voice acting. And Eric, you seem like you can breathe, so you get to start.
I went with Avatar here. I thought the voice acting was more crisp and better.
All right. Dave.
Yeah, I'm going with the Avatar: The Last Airbender here. I think it has a really good voice acting crew. Like Dante Basco for Zuko. You got Mae Whitman for Katara. Mark Hamill is in this. He plays Lord Ozai. And you got some other good actors in here, voice actors in here as well. I thought they did a fantastic job.
All right. And Sean?
Yeah, I also went with Avatar. I think the delivery and stuff in Avatar are a lot better than Adventure Time. It's more like serious, better, compelling stories, and it really consists of how the voice actors portray themselves through that character.
Okay. All right, they're up 1-0. 2 more, and then they sweep. We move on to theme song, a category we don't get to very much because the randomizer always decides to put it last. But who had the better theme song, Dave?
I'm going with Adventure Time here. It was more of a song. The Avatar, The Last Airbender, it's kind of summarizing the show's lore type deal. It's not really a song. You got like a orchestra type stuff in the background, but it's not really a song. It's just them talking to you about what's happening through the show, basically.
Right.
Adventure Time, it's more of a singable song, I would guess you would say. So I'd go with Adventure Time here.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, I went with Adventure Time. I like that one a lot better. It was a little more captivating. Like got my attention a little more, and like Dave said, that Avatar kind of just runs through parts of the show. I mean, so does Adventure Time, but I don't know. I liked Adventure Time better.
Yeah. All right, Eric.
Adventure Time.
All right, no sweep is happening here. We are tied 1-1. We move on to fan base. You have a Nickelodeon show going up against a Cartoon Network show, but obviously Avatar has a big fan base, but is it bigger than Adventure Time's, Sean?
No, I think Avatar has the much bigger fan base here. I don't even think it's comparable in my opinion. Avatar, it was such a huge show back in the day. When it first came out, it took over so quickly. It was something so drastically different.
I don't even think it's a back in the day reminiscing type show. I think it's still viable nowadays.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, from the rip so long ago.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It popped
From
out.
its release.
Yeah. I mean, I remember. I mean, my high school days. That's all anybody could talk about. Oh, did you see this episode? And it was kind of like Game of Thrones when Game of Thrones was still coming out with new episodes. Everybody was like super excited to see what's going to happen. It was just very captivating.
All right, Dave, you get to go next.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Sean here. I'm going with the Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think it has a larger and more highly active fan base, including myself in that fan base. I have merch and I have the whole every season on disc. I have the collectible disc. I also have a metal poster for the Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, no, I just feel like it's definitely like, because they have a spin-off as well, so it's still relative to this day because of that spin-off. People go back to watch the original Avatar to see, Aang in his prime and how it originated. So I feel like the Avatar holds the edge here, and it's more mainstream, I feel.
Right. All right. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, I went with these guys. Avatar.
All right. So they're up 2-1. They can win it at this next category. It is merch. Dave, I think I already know where you're going, but say it anyway.
Yeah, I'm going with the Avatar: The Last Airbender here. You called it. I just feel like it has more consistent modern merchandise. So it still has availability nowadays. I think it's got quite a good demand. Despite ending in 2008, I feel like it's still has a strong and growing driving fan base, and it has consistent sales. Um, so I feel like they take this. Like I said, I have merch myself.
Right. All right, Eric.
From the research I did, yeah, Avatar takes this. I don't think it's even that close.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, I too had Avatar taking this one.
All right, they're gonna win it 3-1.
Pack them up. Pack them up.
So they're gonna get the 20 points. Adventure Time is not gonna lose any points, but they're not gonna gain any. So Avatar gets the win there. We move on to our anime battle of the afternoon. Parasite the Maxim taking on Dragon Ball Super. Parasite the Maxim 0-1, but they have 5 points in the division of Pat Skelly. Dragon Ball Super 1-0, 10 points in the division of Gary Lutz. We start with voice acting. Dave, you're up.
Damn. All right. So this one's a hard one for me because I feel like both these shows, both these shows excel in different areas. Dragon Ball Super is high energy voice acting that they're yelling moves and stuff like that, and Parasite is more like handled with subtle emotion and captures the horror and emotional growth of characters rather than just yelling their lines. And I think for that, I'm going with Parasite the Maxim here.
All right.
Even though Dragon Ball did great too.
Yeah, I also went with Parasite on this one. I just thought the emotions and the delivery and setups were a lot better than the high energy of Dragon Ball.
All right, fair enough. Eric?
I went Dragon Ball. I thought it was more crisp, and I felt more energy in that one.
Okay. All right, but Parasite the Maximum is going to get the win in this category. They are up 1-0. 2 more, and then they sweep. And we go on to theme song. Who had the better theme song, Eric?
I went with Dragon Ball Z. I mean Dragon Ball Super. Sorry, I had to correct myself. Dragon Ball is Super. I liked it better.
All right. Dave?
Yeah, I went with Dragon Ball Super here as well. I'm not huge on the metal dubstep type of music, so the Parasite theme song is kind of like that. It's kind of chaotic in my eyes, in my ears. So I thought Dragon Ball Super was more exciting to listen to.
Right. All right. Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, I also went with Dragon Ball. Much better theme song.
All right. So we are tied 1-1 here. No sweep happening. But we move on to fan base. Sean?
I gave this one to Dragon Ball. I just think they have such a massive following across the board that Parasite doesn't really compare to it at the moment.
Right.
Unfortunately, because,
All right. Dave?
Yeah, I'm going with Dragon Ball Super here. Dragon Ball holds a massive, passionate, loyal fan base, and that audience has always been there and will continue to grow and always be there. So I think Dragon Ball takes this one.
Okay. Eric?
Yep, Dragon Ball Super. It just has that already fan base, and it's more global fan base.
All right. They're up 2-1. 1 more, and then they sweep. Next category is merchandise. Dave?
Yeah, I'm going with Dragon Ball Super here. It's got games made after it. You got action figures. You got a bunch of different. You got the comics. Or not the comics, but the mangas. You got everything around the show that goes with the show. I think, and it has such a great global fan base that people are eating that merch up. And yeah, so I'm going with Dragon Ball Super here. They have massive sales and action figures, and they have apparel, trading cards, etc.
All right,
I
Eric.
feel like Parasite is limited.
Yeah, Dragon Ball. From the research I did, and I think it's pretty obvious, it's Dragon Ball.
All right, Sean.
Yeah, I also went with Dragon Ball here.
All right, Dragon Ball Super is going to win this thing 3-1. They're going to get the 20. So Parasite Maxim does not lose any points, but they don't gain any either. Next, it is Angry Beavers versus the Goof Troop. Angry Beavers 0-1 in the division of Will Penn, no points. Goof Troop 0-1 in the division of Tim Friel, no points. It's another Nickelodeon versus Disney Channel battle. We've had plenty of those on these shows. We start with voice acting. Who had the better voice acting, Sean?
I went with Goof Troop. I like the cast better. The dialogue is a little easier to understand, and Angry Beavers is just quirky in a way.
Yeah.
And I wasn't that big of a fan of the quirky. It's okay once in a while, but like their whole show was kind of like it never changed momentum.
Right. All right. Eric?
Yeah, I went with Goof Troop. I think it's more crisp and more. The dialogue was better. I enjoyed it way more.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, I agreed with these two. I thought it was a little more grounded voice acting for Goof Troop. It was a little more eligible. Some of the things the Angry Beavers would say, it was kind of hard to hear or understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just feel like it was more like they didn't try to perfect it. I heard they, while looking up some stuff, they did a lot of one takes. So they didn't do like a lot of remakes of certain cuts or voice acting scenes. So they couldn't, the voice actors didn't have a lot of room to wiggle, what I'm saying. So, yeah, I definitely went the other way here.
All right. They're up 1-0, 2 more, and then they sweep. We move on to theme song. Angry Beavers did not have words, but they had quite the action sequence. Goof Troop did have words. It's actually one of my favorite theme songs, but I'm not judging here. Who had the better theme song, Dave?
I went with Goof Troop here. It was definitely more catchy, more. It was more. Having words definitely helps. I think in a theme song, just because you have an orchestra doesn't mean you're going to have a great theme song. And I thought they did a better job here.
Yeah. Now you have gone the other way. There have been some episodes and some battles where you have gone with the show that doesn't.
It depends if it's like an iconic one, like if it's like a Batman one, like where you hear it and you're just like, that's Batman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I heard their theme song, I was like, what is this? Like, I've never heard it before type thing.
Right.
If it's an iconic one that doesn't use words, I feel like it hits a little different. And, people love it and it's stapled into our minds. But the ones that aren't, relevant or the ones I don't remember, they're just mid to me.
Great. That makes sense. All right. Sean.
Yeah, I went with Goof Troop. Just the fact that it had words made it more captivating and appealing as a intro or a theme. Sorry.
Right. All right, Eric.
Yep, Goof Troop. I think the theme is iconic, so I went with the more iconic one.
All right. So 2-0, one more, and then they sweep. And the next category is fan base. It's Nickelodeon versus Disney, like I said, but the Disney character is one of the more iconic characters.
Yep.
Eric, go ahead.
Yep, I went with Goof Troop. The research I did just points me to Goof Troop.
It's a Disney show, right?
Yeah. So, you're next, Dave.
Oh, yeah, I went with Goop Troop here. What I've seen, it had a broader audience in its time, and it still has more of a cult following than the Angry Beavers does. What I was seeing, you've got the people that are Nickelodeon fans that will be lovers of the show, but I feel like the Disney roots, they have a little more of a bigger fan base there. So I went with Goop Troop. I think it had a broader appeal.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Sean?
Yeah, I went with Goof Troop here. I don't think there's. I mean, I'm sure there's a decent fan base for Angry Beavers, but not as dedicated and loyal as the Goof Troop clan.
Is Angry Beavers a video game?
I think so.
They probably do.
Way back in the day.
I would probably be for
PlayStation.
Yeah, because they came out around the time where PlayStation was really starting to catch fire.
I thought it was a video game.
Yeah, I mean,
there's like Game Boy type games too for it, but
yeah. So
I think it might be a phone app game.
All right, Goof Troop's going to win 3-0. They're going to get 30 points. Angry Beavers loses 10. Well, we move on to the next battle, which is Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, taking on the Spooktacular New Adventures of Casper the Friendly Ghost. Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle, in the division of my sister, Mindy Hummer. They are 0-1, but they have 5 points. The Spooktacular New Adventures of Casper the Friendly Ghost is 0-1, negative 10 points in the division of Randy Marsh. If Casper gets swept, they move into that bottom of the barrel territory. But we start with voice acting. Dave, who did it better?
This one was tough for me. But I'm going with Casper the Ghost here. I thought they had a more talented professional voice casting, a little more diverse and engaging performances in my eyes. Tarzan, it was unique, but I feel like, it kind of was like primary roles that were kind of it with the voice acting, and that's all you really got.
Yeah.
Like Tarzan, like the most iconic thing about Tarzan with the voice acting is the yelling, while he's swinging and whatnot. That's the most iconic thing for me with the voice acting there. Besides that, I think it was pretty mid.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not like the Tarzan cartoon that Disney came out with.
Right.
20 years later. But, all right, Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, I went with Casper here. A lot better voice acting, in my opinion.
All right, Eric?
Yeah, I went with Casper too. I just think it was more crisp, and I think you recognize the voice of Casper.
Yeah. All right. Casper's up 1-0. They're not going to get swept. We move on to theme song.
Oh.
All right. I just heard an and the person I heard that from is going first.
Oh, man. I thought they both did a good job here. See, the thing is, Tarzan, they also won a Academy Award-winning soundtrack for their stuff. But I like Casper here a little more because it's more like fun and catchy, I feel. But Tarzan, I mean, it was really up there for me. because of the award-winning soundtrack, but I like Casper a little more. It's a little more fun.
Right. All right. Eric?
Yeah, I went the opposite. I went with Tarzan. I thought that was just a tiny bit better, and I enjoyed it more.
All right. Well, Sean, it took us a little longer to get here than in Saturday's show. So go ahead and break the tie.
I went with Casper the Friendly Ghost here. I don't know. I mean, it's just catchier to me, and it's something a little different. It's more majestic than Tarzan. Just caught my attention a little better.
Okay. All right. They're up 2-0. One more, and then they sweep. And we move on to fan base. Who had the bigger fan base, Eric?
From the research I did, I think Casper had the more bigger fan base just by a tad. I think they both had pretty good fan bases.
Can I go next?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going the opposite way here. I think Tarzan's fan base is way broader, deeper, and it's more historically entrenched too. So it catches a broader appeal, not only those people that like watching, cartoons or anything like that, but also people that like a little bit of history too.
Right.
So you catch eyes of people like that as well. And Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle brought the legacy of Tarzan, which pioneered a lot of different shows, I believe, of like superheroes. Because what it was early as 1916 when the legacy of Tarzan really began. Not the show, but the fandom. Yeah. So I think it was one of the earliest pop culture superheroes. So I feel like them bringing this into a show really captivated a lot of people and definitely had a broader fan base.
Yeah. Well, Sean, apparently you haven't been doing it enough lately, so you have to do it twice in a row.
Apparently. I actually went the opposite way of Dave. I went with Casper here. I think Tarzan was a little all over the place in the fan base because of how many different type of shows Tarzan had and how some were better than a lot of the others. I think that kind of affected it a little bit, in my opinion. But, I mean, Casper kind of drew such a big attention just because of, the ghost show. It's like a child show, but it's still spooky, so it's not a child show. And it's kind of, all over the place. So I gave it to Casper.
All right. They're going to win it 3-0. So they were in danger of ending up in the bottom of the barrel territory if they got swept. They did the sweeping. So they get out of the negative territory. Tarzan heads into the negative territory as they go negative 5 points from the 5 that they had. So Casper is able to dig himself out. Now, the big question is, can Count DUCKULA do that? Because Count DUCKULA is up next in the main event to go up against Dexter's Laboratory. Dexter's Laboratory 1-0 in the division of Mike Bianco, 1-0, 30 points. If they sweep here, they go into that upper echelon territory. Count DUCKULA 0-1, negative 10 in the division of Bobby Lovewell. And if Count DUCKULA gets swept, then they are in the bottom of the barrel territory. We haven't really had anybody go there or go up or down into either one of those tiers yet. It's been a couple weeks. So we start with voice acting, and Sean, we start with you.
I gave this to Dexter's Laboratory. I think voice actors nailed their roles perfectly, and they really did sound like siblings when Dee Dee and Dexter were going at it, and I just think they did a lot better job.
All right, Dave.
I went the opposite way here. I went Count DUCKULA. I thought it was more polished of a voice cast. I thought it was a comedic masterpiece with the voice acting as well. Dexter's Laboratory, it was The voice acting was great the first 2 seasons, but after that, it wasn't as consistent. I don't think.
Well, yeah, because didn't Christine Cavanaugh die? Like, because I know she passed away, but did she pass away like while the show was still going on? I know she's the one that did Dexter's voice.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think season 3, Candy Milo was Dexter. Yeah, so I think after season 2, Christine Cavanaugh passed.
All right. I hate this, but Eric, you have the power. So
You think I know? You think you know what I'm going to do? But
well, I know the backside you prefer to put the lips on.
Well, now we know
that's not the backside I'm going to do. That's not the backside. I'm doing the opposite. I'm agreeing with Sean.
Oh. See, now that I gave the idea of starting a website named after Sean, now you're going to start kissing up to him.
It's only because he wants to earn some revenue too.
Yeah. Avenue and access to his dresser drawer. But all right.
It's a kids show.
I know. Well, they should all be in school.
Unless it's another snow day.
Yeah,
and that snows a lot recently.
Oh my God, has it ever? And it's cold. How cold is it out by you guys, Sean and Dave?
Cold enough where I don't want to go outside.
Like below 15.
Below 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 9 degrees maybe.
Yikes! Wow.
Yeah, it's about 15 to 16. Well, it's about 20 degrees here today.
Yep. So much so my hands are like bloody.
It was pretty cold yesterday.
Yeah. So it's very very cold. All right. So Dexter's Laboratory is up 1-0. They are 2 away from the sweep. We move to theme song. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Not tricky, but Dexter's Laboratory doesn't have words, but they have quite the action sequence. Count Duckula has words. So, Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, I went with Count Duckula here. I thought it was more of a musical song. Dexter's Laboratory, it's more of like a thematic type atmosphere to it. So I went with Count Duckula here.
All right, Sean?
I went with Dexter's Laboratory. I think it's such an iconic sound that it didn't need words to let people remember what was playing. Like, you knew what exact show it was from the other room.
True.
All right.
I do see that.
All right, go ahead, Eric.
I'm agreeing with Sean again.
Feels good.
I think I just enjoyed that action scene more.
It is a good intro. I mean, it is memorable.
Yeah. Dave, does this feel weird?
No. I figured being gone a week, Sean would get to him.
Yeah.
I think I agreed with Doug more last week. I think we all agreed a lot last week, didn't we?
I mean, there was a point where there was a couple of times where you agreed with me, and Sean was just like, Eric, I forgot to tell you he tried to kiss up to you by saying the Eagles were the greatest football team on planet Earth, which we know is a lie.
I didn't fall for it, by the way.
Yeah. So,
not yet.
Well, I mean, anybody that says the Eagles are the greatest football team on earth, then, they're probably still stuck in 2017 when they were good. All right.
2024.
Huh?
I mean 2024.
Well, 2024. They were at their best in 2017.
Fair enough.
So, all right. Dexter's Laboratory is up 2-0 because Eric has agreed with Sean twice, which nobody is used to. We move on to fan base. Now, Count Duckula was a show based in the UK. That's where the cartoon was based out of.
Yep.
Dexter's Laboratory is Cartoon Network. Eric, you're not getting power this time. You're getting started off.
I went with Dexter. I just think it just generates more of a fan base and with more.
All right. Sean?
Yeah, I went with Dexter's Laboratory as well. I think, their fan base was a lot bigger over in the States and anywhere else, honestly. I think it was just a much better show.
All right, Dave?
Yeah, I agree with these two. I thought it was had a broader fan base. Definitely more recognized, I believe, and it has a more enduring fan base. Even though I do see Count Duckula does have a pretty passionate fan base as well. I just don't think there is on a broad spectrum as Dexter's Laboratory is.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it could be anybody else, but
yeah. All right, Dexter's Laboratory is going to win this 3-0. They're going to head to the upper echelon. Count Duckula goes to the bottom of the barrel. Count Duckula is the 14th show to make it to that upper echelon. They join the likes of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mighty Ducks the Animated Series, The Muppet Babies, Magic School Bus, Alf the Animated Series, 16. You have Samurai Champloo and Black Butler as the animes that made it up there. Boondocks is up there. SWAT Cast, the Radical Squadron is up there. Johnny Quest is up there. Ben 10 got up there as well. I know I'm missing a few, but I can't really. Hold on, I might be able to tell which ones are. But yeah, so Real Ghostbusters as well. They're in that upper echelon. So 14 shows right now are 2-0 with 60 points, and it's some weird ones. So, and we have quite a few that are bottom of the barrel shows. Count Duckula is there. Freakazoid is, or no, I don't know. I don't think Freakazoid's there. Never mind. But Camp Candy, Mask, Cow and Chicken, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, the Animated Series, among many others. So after stage 2 is done and over with, we're going to start to have a feeling of like, all right, we know which shows are up at the top, but the competition is going to get a lot different. And in stage 3 coming up, we are going to have the couple of shows where it was judge's choice. And I don't know if you guys remember agreeing to this or not, but the ones that we picked, now it doesn't matter for me because I host the show all the time anyway, but the show with the battles that Eric picked, Eric is going to be the host. So I get to judge. On the show or on the episode of the battles that Dave picked, Dave gets to host. And on the episode of battles that Sean picked, Sean gets to host. So
yeah.
I even forgot all the shows that I picked.
Once we get to there, because like stage 3 technically isn't completely booked yet, because there's a few shows that I have yet to put together, but those are like towards the bottom because I keep forgetting like what shows I've already used.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but I'll send everything to you guys probably at some point this week, maybe even later after we get off the air.
Okay.
So you guys know exactly what we're doing. Because I know we booked.
I also need episode 26. I don't
Same.
have that
for our showdown.
I'm getting to it.
Oh,
You know, I plugged that in just a couple minutes, right?
sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, so all right. Well, speaking of that, so this upcoming Saturday, episode 26 of Animated Hour of Power, it's going to be the Rising of the Shield Hero versus Dragon Raja, Galaxy High versus Wild West Cowboys and Moo Mesa, Kaiju number 8 takes on Ninja Kamui, and Dr. Stone faces Hell's Paradise in the main event. Next week for Animated Showdown, episode 26. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy takes on Legend of Tarzan. Neo Angelique takes on Death Note. Chalk Zone takes on The Amazing World of Gumball. Magi Labyrinth of Magic takes on Devil May Cry. And Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog faces Tasmania in the main event.
Okay.
So that is what we have going on for episode 26 of both Animated Hour of Power and Animated Showdown. Again, we're just a couple weeks away because episode 27 is the end of stage 2. And I know Animated Showdown, when I sent it to you guys originally, episode 27 wasn't even fully made. So
yeah, we didn't get 27. We got like the first half of 26, the first show.
Hour of Power.
Yeah. So, so I'll make sure you guys are obviously filled in because you need to know what you're watching.
Yep.
Yes,
So,
please.
Yeah. So I'll let you guys, I'll divulge all that information next week when we get to that. But all right. So make sure to like and subscribe to the When Tunes Combine YouTube channel. Join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/When Tunes Combine. Make sure to also like and subscribe to the Wrestling Through the Years YouTube channel. This Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be talking about Unforgiven 2006. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to Eric's Unscripted Sports Show channel.
Super Bowl preview this week.
Yep. You'll find Sean on TCAX Reaper on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, and Kick. You'll find Wildcard Dave on Twitch at TCAX Godsent 95. Also, like and subscribe to the Stabcast with Daniel and Mindy, the Dizzle 97 YouTube channel and Twitch. And we'll see everybody Saturday for Animated Hour of Power.
Peace.
Later, Mo.